A virtual private network has an additional role, which is to control access to nodes within a private network. The scenario for a virtual private network is that there is some private network that we're going to virtualize, obviously. The idea of a private network is that there are resources within the network that nodes outside of that network have no business contacting, or not even any business seeing what kind of communication happens inside of that private network. However, sometimes someone who normally could be in that network is outside on their laptop, say, and they have to communicate with entities inside the private network through the internet at large. Normally, access to elements of the private network will be guarded by the router here on the edge that goes from the private network to the internet outside. So we can reject access to these machines that should not be allowed. But with the virtual private network, when that router also acts as a virtual private network, then it can allow packets that are from authenticated users, say this laptop here, that is able to authenticate, and the way it recognizes those connections is through the IPsec protocol. In other words, IPsec is going to be how the laptop and the router here coordinate to implement the virtual private network. A machine like the laptop here needs to start out by connecting to the VPN. So usually that's some sort of password or key-based entry point. When that machine does make the connection, then on the machine a new interface is created. So this machine is likely to have multiple addresses now. Its regular IP address, based on however it connected to the internet, and another IP address that looks like it's on the inside of the private network, even though the machine is out here. Recall that machines can have any number of interfaces, so any number of IP addresses associated with those interfaces. Often we look at the loopback device versus a Wi-Fi versus wired Ethernet maybe, and a VPN connection is just one more of those interfaces, but it's implemented as a virtual device. There's no extra hardware associated with that interface.